Hello Miss, my name is Noshafina Natra binti Muhammad Yusuf and I'm going to present about the introduction of the news. This news presents two perspectives, one from Dr. Muhammad Fairuz Eraza, the Deputy Secretary General of the Malaysian Association of Tax Accountants, and the other from Sing Guangge, the tax head at Deloitte Malaysia. According to Dr. Muhammad Fairuz Eraza, implementing a wealth tax has always been challenging due to the ability of wealthy individuals to transfer their assets between different tax jurisdictions. Deloitte Malaysia tax leader Sing Guangge expressed her perspective on Singapore implementation of their tax system and its positive impact on their economy. She recommended that Malaysia adopt some aspect of Singapore's system. This news article discusses 4 key topics and offers recommendations from two parties. This issue and recommendation will be presented by my members. Thank you.
Greetings to Ms. Zarina and my fellow friend. My name is Daya Nur Suhana binti Abang Zainuddin. Today, I'm going to share the issue and suggestion on implementing wealth tax in Malaysia. Implementing a wealth tax in Malaysia could face significant challenges, particularly concerning the ability of affluent individuals to relocate their fortunes to more favorable tax jurisdictions. The globalization of wealth and financial resources enable high net worth individuals to strategically shift their assets across borders, taking advantage of jurisdictions with lower or no wealth tax rates. This mobility of capital poses a substantial obstacle to the effective enforcement of a wealth tax, as the wealthy may choose to move their investment, businesses, or even residence to countries with more lenient tax regimes. To address the need for a wealth tax policy in Malaysia, we deploy the tax payable by purchasing government bonds or private debt security, involve offering an alternative method for individuals to fulfill their tax obligations. Instead of paying the wealth tax directly, taxpayer could choose to invest an equivalent amount in government's bonds or private debt securities with a specified maturity period. This approach aimed to incentivize investment in national or private debt, potentially benefiting economic development, while still ensuring that the required tax amount is contributed indirectly through these financial instruments. By encouraging taxpayers to invest in government bonds or private debt securities, this strategy aligns with the goal of channeling funds into areas that contribute to economic growth and stability.
A very good day and greetings to Miss Alina. My name is Sherin Jalong and today I'm going to present one issue on implementing wealth tax in Malaysia and one suggestions on implementing wealth tax in Malaysia. Considering this news, my opinion is the difficulty of exactly monitoring and valuing the wealth held by Malaysian citizens outside the nations is one of the biggest obstacles to the implementations of a wealth tax in Malaysia. Wealthy individuals frequently use a variety of complex financial instruments and offshore entities to diversify their assets abroad and protect them from taxes. This consists of trusts, offshore accounts, and investment in real estate and companies located abroad. An instance of an overseas asset that a Malaysian business magnate might have would be real estate in London, investment in Silicon Valley tech companies, or offshore accounts in tax-free zones like the Cayman Islands. In addition to the complexity of global financial system and privacy laws in other countries, this asset might not be easily traced or transparent to Malaysian tax authority. From my perspective, From my perspective, my suggestions for enacting a wealth tax in Malaysia, first and foremost, it is essential to have a clear legal framework. Malaysia would have adopted clear legislation defining the wealth tax parameters, including taxable asset, exclusion, and the relevant tax rate. It would be essential to take into account the nation's specific situations while also referencing worldwide best practices. To reduce the negative effects on specific societal groups, for example, taxable wealth limits and the assumptions of some assets, such as primary residences or necessary business assets, could be established. That's all from me. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum to Ms. Zarina. In this video, I'm going to expand on the third issue based on our news. Implementing wealth tax in Malaysia may get tricky. Before I start, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Narila Saadia binti Yahya. According to the news, the third issue is difficult for tax authority to audit global assets and apply judgment on whether valuation on foreign assets are fair. This is due to the factors of resource allocations. Implementing and enforcing a wealth tax requires significant resources in terms of skill, personnel, technology, and infrastructure. Tax authorities may face limitations in terms of technology and resources, hindering their ability to monitor and audit global assets effectively. I guess that's all from me regarding on the third issue based on our news. On the third suggestions, according to the news, which is instead of introducing a new wealth tax, Malaysia may consider similar measure made by Singapore by raise taxes on its wealthiness 1% and increase other levies. These strategies aim to achieve wealth redistributions and generate additional revenues while avoiding the complexities associated with dedicated wealth tax. By focusing on the highest income earners and adjusting various levies, Malaysia can review and possibly boost capital gains taxes, particularly for wealthy individuals who get a considerable portion of their income from investment returns. I guess that's all from me on the suggestions according to our news. Thank you for listening.
Greetings and Assalamualaikum Ms. Zalina and my group members. My name is Azrina binti Ahmad and I am going to present about the fourth issue. The fourth issue is wealth tax may lead to shareholders refraining and delaying from selling to avoid the immediate tax hit, resulting in a lock-in effect. In the short run, this will affect the fluidity and efficiency of the equities market, as told by Dr. Muhammad Fairuz Abdul Razak. The lock-in effect occurs when shareholders, faced with the prospect of a wealth tax, choose to delay or altogether refrain from selling their assets. This decision is primarily driven by the desire to avoid the immediate tax impact on their wealth. It is a short-term strategy that has consequences for the overall fluidity and efficiency of the equities market. The lock-in effect, as explained by experts like Dr. Muhammad Fairuz Abdul Razak, highlights how the short-term decisions of individual shareholders can collectively impact the overall health and efficiency of the equities market. The fourth suggestion on implementing wealth tax in Malaysia is the mandatory assignment of a tax identification number to all Malaysians above the age of 18 for individuals who are not employed but are high-income earners such as freelancers, influencers, and e-business owners. Greater enforcement activities should provide the government with more visibility on these taxpayers and in turn generate more tax revenue for the country, as told by Deloitte Malaysia tax leader Sim Kuang Gek. The rationale behind this suggestion is to enhance enforcement activities and provide the government with greater visibility on taxpayers in these non-traditional employment sectors. By assigning a tax identification number, the government can more effectively track and monitor the financial activities of these individuals. Tax identification number can have several benefits. For example, it It can discourage tax evasion, ensure a fair distribution of the tax burden, and ultimately strengthen the financial health of the nation. That is all from me. Thank you for lending your ears.
Hi, my name is Elisia Najatan and I'm going to present the conclusion part. From the newspaper article, it can be concluded that the wealth tax implemented by the Malaysian government may have both positive and negative effects on economic growth. The notion of wealth tax may be interpreted as a mechanism by which the government receives revenue from the net worth and earnings of individuals who pay taxes. By considering the taxpayers' economic status and ability to pay the taxes, this system promotes fairness and equality. Thus, in terms of benefits, it is clear that there are many people who believe that wealth taxes can discourage people from becoming extremely wealthy, which is beneficial to the economic development. This is due to the stability and predictability. Compared to the income tax, wealth tax tend to be more stable and less affected by the economic fluctuation. This stability can provide more predictable source of revenue for the government. However, implementing this wealth tax will be extremely challenging, especially the administrative. The government will receive burden to resolve this problem where implementing and administering a wealth tax can be resource intensive for both taxpayer and government agencies. It may require additional bureaucracy and lead to higher compliance costs. This has been discussed in the newspaper article that show the government faces difficulties to keep tabs on assets that are situated in many nations, and because rich individuals can easily transfer their wealth between different tax jurisdictions. There is a significant amount of difficulty in determining the fair market value of an asset when there are no publicly stated prices for that asset. Due to this issue, there are disagreements on value that arise between taxpayers and the authorities who are in charge of accounting for the taxes. As a result of value uncertainty, some affluent individuals may engage in tax avoidance. Lastly, the effectiveness and desirability of a wealth tax depend on various factors, including its designs, the economic context, and the specific goals of the government. Public opinion, public consideration, and global economic trends are also play a significant role in shaping the tax policies. That's all for me. Thank you.